Manisha, can you start? Yes, Hari Om to all. So, with all your best wishes and all our prayers, let us start this beautiful Upanishad, which has 18 mantras. And this first verse is famous worldwide. Isavasyam idagam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjitam ma krudha kasya svidhanam. That we are going to chant later on. Vidya will chant the verses. But when the time comes, we are going to chant this and see word by word meaning. So let us have some introduction before we start the mantra portion. So one question which many people ask is that in all other religions, there is one text, one prophet, one God. If you see Islam, there is one Allah, one Quran, one prophet. If you see Christianity, there is one Bible, though there is Old Testament, New Testament. There is one Jesus who is a prophet and one Father. But in our religion, it is not so, and then there is a lot of confusion. So what is our one prophet, one God, one text? So the text, what Hindus are having, which is a text which must be referred, is the Vedas. Now, many people say, I have not seen Vedas, I have not heard Vedas, it is not available in the book, but those who are studying Bhagavad Gita, it is Upanishad Su, it is coming from Vedas. So suppose I am studying Bhagavad Gita, I am studying Vedas only. So one God, we also have one God. That is very important to note. And why this introduction is important? Because the first verse itself is very interesting, where it is going to describe that how this God is pervading the entire Jagat. But that we will analyze in detail, which we must note that this is not the understanding of other religions. They, according to them, suppose we read Islam, Christianity and Hinduism, the concept of God is same, one God. We have one Brahman, Nirvikar, Nirvishesh, Nirguna, and one God is taking different forms. That is what is our Hinduism. But in their religion, it is only one God, and God is not part of this world. So one text what we have is Vedas. We have one God called as Brahman, which is Nirgun, Nirvikar, Nirvishesh. And we have 10 avatars. And our religion says that anyone can become a saint, anyone can realize, anyone can have Jivan Mukti, because here and now we can have the presence of God and feel the God here and now, right now in us. So this is very important to note, because other religions do not have this concept. And that's the reason they want to convert. That's the reason they can kill, because in this Jagat there is no God. God is that one, but not present here. So what is one text we must refer to is Vedas. That is the Praman that we are going to learn now. So what is Vedas? Vedas is the knowledge storehouse. It's a source of knowledge. It's a knowledge storehouse. So what is Vedas? Knowledge storehouse. Like we have kitchen and there is storage of grains. Then there is place where there is storage of gold, diamonds. Vedas is knowledge storehouse. Why we should learn Vedas? Why we should listen to scriptures? Why we should study Isavasya Upanishad? That is an important question to ask oneself. That why I am learning? What will I get? So now we come to one very important Siddhanta of Vedanta. All problems are because of ignorance. All problems. Physical problem, emotional problems, relationship problem, financial problem, political problems, international problems are all problems because of ignorance. Right now the war is happening. Israel didn't know that how they collected 5,000 missiles. Ignorance. Otherwise, considering the intelligence systems what USA and Israel has, how come they collected 5,000 missiles in Hamas, by Hamas in Gaza is a big challenge now what they are discussing. Ignorance. One minute, just hold on. So, if you are suffering from bondage, knowledge of liberation will give freedom. If one is suffering from poverty, many people do not have money. It is one of the greatest suffering. Knowledge of creating wealth will liberate us from poverty. We don't know how to create wealth. That's the reason there are so many tensions of what will happen tomorrow. How will my future be secured? If I am suffering from illness, knowledge of health will liberate us. We go to doctor because doctor has the knowledge of how to create health in us, which is having disease. What he gives us is knowledge, what he gives us is medicine, and that we have to take into action. But knowledge is given by the doctor because he has the knowledge of all the illnesses and diseases. If I am suffering from failures, knowledge of success will liberate us from failures. There are many people who go and do suicide because I am a failure. I do not have wealth. I am not having intelligence. I am not having health. So I must first of all seek knowledge. Conclusion of Vedanta. This is very important to note. Sa vidya ya vimuktaye. This is the definition of knowledge. I don't think anybody has defined knowledge this way. One of the best definition of knowledge is, what is knowledge? Knowledge is that which liberates me from poverty, from bondage, from disease, from failures. Because once we have this knowledge, then I have to act on it, and then I get freedom from illness, freedom from poverty, freedom from failure, and I become all these kind of things. So this conclusion is very important. Those who are writing must write this down. What is knowledge? Why knowledge is important? Sa vidya ya vimuktaye. Knowledge is that which liberates us from whatever condition we are in. That is where we start. Today, if we see those people who are successful, those people who are famous, those people who are powerful, those people who are realized, they basically are having knowledge. Why Mukesh Ambani is rich? Because he knows how to create wealth. And why a beggar on Fine Arts Bridge is begging there? Because he doesn't know how to create wealth. He doesn't have the knowledge. Though only in Brahma Vidya they say, Om Brahmavid Apnoti Param. Knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. In all other cases, knowledge has to be followed with action. Only in self-realization we say, knower of Brahman attains the supreme. That we will see in the Upanishad how it is possible. So I have to just know, because the enemy of ignorance is knowledge. So karma will not liberate me, knowledge will liberate me. Karma will purify me, karma will make my mind concentrated, but without the knowledge of self, jnaneya mukti, it will not happen. So Upanishad, when we approach, we are approaching for self-knowledge. And we are going to get knowledge that will liberate me from everything, all sorrows and suffering. So I am going to study this. All sorrows, all these sorrows, whatever I mentioned, all will go with only one kind of knowledge, and that is Upanishadic knowledge. Which knowledge will liberate me? Not the WhatsApp knowledge, Facebook knowledge, any physics knowledge, chemistry knowledge, economics knowledge, finance knowledge. Which knowledge will liberate me? Valid knowledge will liberate me. Where will I get this knowledge? This knowledge will be available in the Upanishad. So now we have to pay attention. Now we are asking important question that what is this valid knowledge? And how do I know it is valid? Because only valid knowledge will liberate us, not knowledge coming from any other source. And that's the reason we say Vedaha Pramanam. So this also we must note down, Vedaha Pramanam. What is Veda? Veda is Praman, source of knowledge. That is what we learn. And it is also means of knowledge. Both. It is a store of knowledge. It is a source of knowledge, and it is the valid means of knowledge. How do I know that Vedas are means of knowledge? This is very important to know, because those people who are called as non-believers, they are not non-believers of God, atheist. In our own Shastra, there are 6 schools of thoughts. And there is Buddha, Buddhism, Jainism, Charvakas. They don't believe Veda as authority. They believe the knowledge what is there, but they don't say that Veda is authority. So, for us, Sanatana Dharma Hindus, Vedas are the authority, and whatever Vedas are giving us, those are the valid means. What is the purpose of the Vedas? What is the purpose of this knowledge? Ajnata Dhyapakam, revealer of the unknown. Now, this is very important. So all these small words what we are using must be noted down and learned. Suppose tomorrow I have a desire, which is a higher desire to learn more Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Isavasya, then all these things will help us, because these are the basics to know the Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Isavasya, etc. So Ajnata Jnapakam means revealer of the unknown. Why it is unknown? Because this knowledge, this thing what we are going to study is not possible to know with senses, mind and intellect. But then why we should study then if we are not available? Because it is beyond the senses, mind and intellect. So Vedas are going to reveal us and are going to give us indicators, lakshanas of this. Like we say in normal term also, that one eye cannot see the other eye. I cannot see my own eye, this eye, E-Y-E. I have to have a mirror to see my own eye. So these Vedas are the mirrors which will reveal us the unknown. Right now it is not known to us and it is beyond the known. This is very important, because as we will learn some pramanas which are important to learn before we enter Upanishad, we will understand that this knowledge of self or Brahman is beyond known. So that's the reason in one of the book, there is a book by J.K. Krishnamurti called as Freedom from Known. So what we are going to have this knowledge is, which will take us from known to unknown. Ajnata Jnapakam. That is the purpose of Vedas. Now, in this Vedaha Pramanam, there are 2 words. So we are going to analyze both the words. What is Veda and where this Upanishad is coming, which we are going to learn, and what is Pramana. So now let us focus. First part is Pramana, and then we will see what is Veda, what is Upanishad, and where this Upanishad is coming. And then we will start the first mantra. But before that, there is a Shanti mantra also in Upanishad. And the Shanti mantra is Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Normally that we chant in the last, but in this Upanishad, in this Veda, it is chanted first. It is this Veda's Shanti mantra. So now let us take a deep breath and see what is the meaning of Pramana. Pramayaha Karnam. So instruments or means of knowledge. So our senses are not only senses, they are instruments. Eyes can see, measure the light. So Ears can only measure the sound into certain frequency. We cannot see ultraviolet light because it can only measure some portion of the light. Because light has lot of spectrums, we can only see some spectrums. So basically from today, we must change our perception that these senses are only to enjoy the world. No, no, no. Lord has given these senses as measurement instruments, means of knowing. Because first Lord created this world and then he say, okay, then what should I give a human being and animals and plants? Okay, I must give some kind of instruments to experience the world. And that's the reason Lord Krishna was showing his Vishwaroop. After some time, suddenly he realized that Arjuna is not seeing, not able to acknowledge, not able to appreciate because he was not having the Jnana Chakshu. So Lord says, okay, I forgot. I will give you Jnana Chakshu. I will give you a third eye through which you can see my Vishwaroop. So Arjuna was given that Jnana Chakshu. Jnana Chakshu is very important. When that chapter comes, we are going to analyze that what is that Jnana Chakshu. And with that Jnana Chakshu, Arjuna was able to see Lord's Vishwaroop. So we will also be able to see if we develop this kind of means to see the Lord which is beyond the means. Sounds little confusing, but when we do pramana, little bit we will understand that why this Upanishadic knowledge is important and why what this Upanishadic knowledge is going to give us each mantra. So what is called as valid knowledge? Now this is also analyzed. 4 pointers. If any of this pointer is there in any of the knowledge, then that knowledge is not considered as valid. So what are the 4 pointers? First of all, I'm not giving the Sanskrit names, but I'll just mention those who want to write down can write down. Any knowledge, any time, in any any yuga, in any year, if it is going to change, then that is not a valid knowledge. Let us take simple example to understand. We understand that this person is bad or good. And after knowing the person for 2 years, we change our opinion about that person. That is an invalid knowledge. So all our knowledge about people is invalid because people keep changing. An ordinary person can become a Mahatma and a Mahatma can become an ordinary person when this desire or vasanas envelop that person. So today when we discuss about people, this person is like that, this person is like that, that person is like that. I don't like this person behaves like this. This is invalid knowledge from Vedanta point of view. Because it can be negated because you might say this person is bad, but his wife or husband might say this person is good. So suppose you take pencil, the pencil looks straight. Now is it a valid knowledge? No, because when the pencil goes in the water, it looks bent. So it is invalid knowledge. So any knowledge changing with means is invalid knowledge. Some people say, no, I want to go to a doctor to, reduce my weight. I am little bulky. I put on weight. You go on moon, your weight will be 1/6. So even that is invalid knowledge because it changes as per the planet. So that is called as abhaditam. Any knowledge which changes with time, with place is called as abhaditam. It can be negated. Second is anadhigatam. It changes with means. Famous story what we have is elephant. Suppose a person is blind and you want to tell him what is an elephant. The means for knowing the elephant is eyes. This is very important to note. If I want to know the form, eyes are the means. If I want to hear the sound, ears are the means. If I want to know the taste, tongue is the means. I cannot interchange. I cannot hear by eyes. I cannot see by ears. And that's the reason a blind person goes and sees and touches an elephant and say, okay, the elephant is like a pillar, elephant is like a tail, elephant is like this, elephant is like rope, etc., etc. That is invalid knowledge, because the right sense for knowing the elephant is seeing the elephant is eyes. I give this example we had discussed in Pramana Vichar, that suppose two flowers are kept in a flower vase and you are 20 feet away. One flower is artificial, one flower is real. And both are looking alike, equal, and there is water. So you feel that both are looking the same. How would you know that which is artificial and which is real? So reality and artificiality cannot be known by the eyes. One has to go near and smell. One has to go and touch. And with the touch and smell, one will know, okay, this is artificial and this is real. In the same way, to know God or to know self, senses are not the right means. One has to go beyond senses, and senses means mind and intellect also. I can know about God, but I will not know God. Please note the difference. I will know about the self, but I will not know the self, because I am the self, I am God. Manisha, can you remind me of the timing? Because the watch is in the mobile phone.
Yeah, it is 7:45, 47 rather.
Okay. So the third one is asannigdham, doubtless. After hearing it, there should not be any doubt. Now today, whatever the media is telling, there will be doubt. And the fourth one is smruti vilakshanam, not based on my memory. Not because somebody said there is God, so I should believe. Not that somebody said this, that's why I should believe. It is not dependent on somebody's memory. So if you see this definition, this is very important to note that how to study Upanishad and why Upanishad and Vedas are called as Praman, because Vedic knowledge is unchangeable with yugas, unchangeable with time, unchangeable with place, unchangeable with means. It is doubtless, and it is not based on the memory. Why it is not based on the memory of the Rishi? Because Rishi didn't think of this knowledge and this knowledge came to him. He saw this knowledge. This knowledge was heard. So that we are going to see in detail. So we'll close here. I hope you are enjoying this introduction, because this introduction is very important, and we will quickly see next time what are the different means through which we know this world. It is a very fascinating subject of Pramana Vichar. So from today, our perception must change, that whatever we see, we need not 100% believe, because somebody might see something else. Because when we get glasses, when we get a layer after some years, when people go and do operation, our vision changes. So what is that knowledge which will not change without yugas, without time, without place, without a medium, without senses, without means? That is the most valid knowledge, and that we are going to study. And that is there in the Upanishad. So what are the different means of knowledge? That we will take next time. And then we will see what is the meaning of Veda and Upanishad. And then we will come to know where this Isavasya Upanishad is there, and what is the significance and importance of this Upanishad. Hari Om. So before we chant, any questions?